Seekers of Peace. Welcome to Finding Peace, where we take a little time out of the day to engage in reflection, contemplation, thinking about some principles of meditation, and practicing some of it. One metaphor or example that I relate to meditation is the process of swimming, learning how to swim. For some, swimming is an exciting idea, and because probably they learned and had good experiences in learning to swim, and someone helped them and guided them along to gain confidence in the ability and to start to understand the mechanics of swimming, being able to move through the water effortlessly and joyfully. But for others, it's not as easy because of lack of experience, or perhaps a frightful experience with swimming. So they need help. I have a friend who coached people learning how to work with the water, that people would clench tightly and tighten their bodies when they got into the water, holding onto the edge of the water, and he would slowly walk them into the process of relating to the water and feeling more comfortable in the water and loosening the grip and relaxing their muscles and letting themselves feel the nature of the water and respect the nature of the water without fearing it. So similarly in meditation, getting acquainted with our self, getting acquainted with getting a fresh look at our physical being, our mental and energetic being, and those depths of who we are as a human being, the depths of our potential as a human being. So that metaphor of swimming also relates to the metaphors often used in meditation. One that we often use here is the image of the ocean, that if we slow down and contemplate that there's a great depth to everything in this world, in this universe, including ourselves. There's a great depth to the potential in that simple everyday task of breathing, that to be conscious of one's breathing, to be present with one's breathing, has a tremendous effect on our entire being, whether it be biological, mental, emotional, spiritual. How we approach our breath and be connected to the breath can have tremendous effects on our lives. So that metaphor of the ocean, an ocean, how many oceans do we have? We have Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean, different oceans with different characteristics. So also in our own being, there's an ocean of the breath. There's a depth to the breath. There's a depth to our cellular structure. Especially in medicine, they're going deeper and deeper and deeper into the cell to understand that each cell is a world in itself. Each cell is an ocean. Also, our solar system can be compared to an ocean, that these heavenly bodies are swimming in their orbits, and their movements have effects that some we're aware of, others that we aren't. So in this process of meditation, each of us are learning our places of comfort, but also are places of challenge, to be attentive to ourselves and to feel the discomfort. Wow, now that I'm slowing down, I've become aware of a lot more going on inside of me. How do I relate to that? How do I relate to the places of tension? The more one practices in the regular practice of meditation to start to understand the mechanics or the different dimensions of self, that when you're feeling tense and stressed, you don't have to run to the refrigerator or run to the cigarette or run to the bottle. You can take responsibility for the sensation of stress and take a deeper approach, an approach that can bring deeper satisfaction. If you take the time, love, attention, compassion to whatever it is that's signaling needs help, that need that presents itself in our awareness, that cry for help from within, how can we take care of it? How can we become comfortable with the potential of ourselves, the potential of our faith to heal and resolve and grow? So, according to your engagement, according to your comfort levels, each of us are responsible to learn how, at what pace and at what amount, what capacity do we have to swim in the oceans and to connect with the oceans of potential, the oceans of love, the oceans of peace, the oceans of healing, to open ourselves to that sensation and realization that's within us, to find that capacity to grow in love, to grow in wisdom, to grow in peace, so that meditation takes on more meaning, more depth, and more satisfaction. I often present as serious in these talks, but I also want to encourage the sense of enjoyment, of pleasure, to encourage that as you become familiar with your depths, that there's a great pleasure, there's a great sweetness that can grow through the practice of meditation. So we'll engage some time and attention to practice some basics of meditation, and we'll step by step guide through different dimensions of meditation. So continuing in that flow of intention, of presence with one's heart, present with the breath, taking a breath inward, gently and naturally, just being aware of that flow of the breath, to follow the natural course of one's breath. In through the nostrils to feel the coolness coming in through the nostrils, into the windpipe. To notice one's chest gently expanding. That presence of the lungs, welcoming that new breath, naturally being aware of the exhale, that contraction of the chest, release of what's no longer needed in the body, release of toxins, just to bring one's attention to that process of release. Again, opening up to the lungs, that expansion of the lungs like a tree within oneself, receiving oxygen, receiving life force, that oxygen flowing deeper into the lungs with each breath. Those branches of the tree of life within you, those lungs within you, opening, releasing and contracting, as if that heaviness of the breath being felt through the nostrils, releasing back as if releasing into an ocean, sitting at the shore of a beautiful, peaceful, blissful ocean, breathing in from that ocean, that depth of life surrounding and within us. Feeling the solar plexus opening, that natural course of the breath from the lungs to the heart. To be present with heart, that heart an expansive and radiant, expanding and contracting, just to be conscious of the heart, respectful and appreciative of the physicality of the heart. Whatever your pulse might be, just to be present with love, with attention, that presence of breath resonating through the heart. That radiance of heart, that light permeating the heart, the light of the breath. The heart, like the sun is to the rest of the planets, so the heart, this central point to the rest of your being. That radiance of the heart reflecting upon the water of the body. Just breathing into the heart resonating and sending that oxygen through the body. The red blood cells, the iron that carries the oxygen through that water of the body. To take the time to appreciate those infinite manifestations of life within one's being, or at least the simple resonance and presence of life in this moment. From the top of one's head, the crown of one's head, as if a crown of peace, a crown of light, of healing, aware that that crown has been there, just to be aware, the crown of energy over one's head and forehead, over one's eyes and the side of one's head. A supportive and peaceful presence resonating through you with that breath, increasing that awareness, covering over areas of tension, permeating areas of tension to be released, through that exhale back into the ocean. Over one's ears, nose, cheeks, over the sides of one's neck, to feel the energy of the breath reaching those places, the intention and light of the breath working through those places, cleansing, balancing, supporting. Over one's neck and shoulders, just to allow that sensation of the breath to permeate, be present, and support, and cleanse and release through the exhale. Perhaps allowing the shoulders to drop over one's arms, forearms, each breath bringing more radiance, more support, more balance. Forearms into the palms, whether the palms are down or raised, to feel that radiance in the palms. Each breath increasing that radiance, increasing that awareness of energy, healing potential. Over one's chest, the rib cages, over the internal organs, as if a dress of support, dress of light, cleansing over the abdomen, over one's hips, down over the front of the legs, the back of one's thighs, radiant support over one's knees, down the front of one's, in the shins, over the calves, ankles, as if that dress from the ocean, the dress of the breath, washing over oneself, the top and bottom of one's feet, releasing through the toes at the shore of that ocean. Coming back into the radiance of the heart, that reflective nature of the heart, not only physically, emotionally, energetically, that each breath cleansing the heart, not only physically, but also energetically, to be aware of that expansiveness around the heart, that radiance and enlightenment of the heart. Each breath mingling and dancing as if the mist from that ocean of support and compassion, mingling through the heart, polishing the heart. Realizing that that heart is a microcosm of a greater ocean. Just as ocean reflects, so the heart reflects. That radiance of the heart extending through one's being, extending through the environment. That heart able to reflect light, and light is boundless. Its ability to reflect to the horizons of this earth. The horizons of the earth, that expansiveness, and the heart as if one. Breathing that dress of expansiveness, a heart translucent, open, those expanded horizons of the oceans. Each breath bringing support and light to the heart that extends out through humanity to this larger scope of the solar system. Further horizons of that solar system, part of a larger system, a larger galaxy, a body of light, an ocean of light. That light of the galaxy reflected through the heart, that movement, that love, that healing potential, that angelic balance. Beyond those horizons of the galaxy, into that greater mystery of the universe. Just to acknowledge gently that broader ocean. That broader potential of healing, of possibility. That intricacy that can build such a thing as a rose. The heart, simple like a flower. In the midst of this vast, beautiful ocean. To be supported, surrounded, caressed by that love, peace, safety, resonating through your being, as the drop feels safe in the ocean, feels at home in the ocean. Great freedom when that drop connects to that wider ocean. That expansiveness and the stars and heavenly bodies coming back into the color of green, the color of the garden, timeless garden. That garden, a place of embodiment of those beautiful attributes permeating the universe: creativity, generosity, purity, love, beauty, healing in the presence of the garden. The greenery of the trees, of fields, plants, blossoms. Whatever makes up that unique garden of healing, embodiment of beauty. The roots of the plants, the roots of the trees, reaching into the earth, that sustenance, that water in the earth. Those roots reaching deep into the earth, those pure sources of water. That fragrance of the garden becoming more apparent, whether it be of the fruits, whatever type of fruit, mango or citrus, lavender. That beauty of the garden, that beauty of provision. That fragrance permeating your cells, permeating your being, resonating within you, those beautiful attributes. Whatever's needed of healing, of support, of joy, present in that fragrance. The heart's perfect contentment in that garden. To know that there are many gardens, many oceans in the hearts of humanity, to acknowledge that in yourself and in others, whether known or unknown, gardens of peace existing. To acknowledge that deep place of mystery, that deep pure water from which the garden takes, that deep mystery of who you are. That pure, reflective essence. As we conclude this meditation, whatever whatever one feels, of a prayer, of a thought, of a thanks, to let that extend through your being, reflect through you freely back into this day as you slowly open your eyes. To bring that clarity back into the day, that compassion back through the day, that protective radiance into the day, humility into the day.